Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, family? All right. The first thing. Why am I doing this video, broadcast it like this? Is because I've tried to, not I've tried, but I've attempted to have a meeting with the family, or I've asked questions at different points of time this year, and all I heard was crickets. As a matter of fact, not even crickets. I didn't even hear a peep. So this is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm broadcasting it like this. And you don't have to listen to it. As a matter of fact, you should listen to it. This is extremely important too. Let's see. So the first thing I want to talk about, is that I would like our family to be more in unison more than what it is at this very moment. And I say that to say because I feel and know that if something was to happen right now, I'm sure that that family or that specific family or family members would show up. Although I sincerely believe that we shouldn't just only react to a situation, we should be better prepared for any given situation at any given time after you hear this message. So I sincerely believe that our family must be built together and strongly, because I feel like we are, and I know that we are a bit separated. So here's a couple of things that I wanted to share. So the first thing, this is not in order, but this is just some things that I've written down. So the first thing I want to talk about is location. Like my family, our family, we are definitely in different states, and I would like us to know or have a sense of knowing where everyone is at. If we can do possible check-ins using the social media app, or just regularly checking in with family members. And if you're not into doing this, then you don't necessarily have to. But I'm going to tell you why as I go on further in the video. So as far as the location is concerned, the location will allow us, or the closest family members, to know exactly where you are, because anything can happen at any given time. So that's just as simple as that. So it's good to know. The other thing is too, on the side of location, is now if you know, right? If you or somebody else know, or if you personally know that who you're hanging out with, their intent or their actions are up to no good, and can lead you into some form of trouble with anyone, then you need to check that and let the rest of us know, or whoever you're close to know, that you're hanging out with somebody who is up to no good, so we can know that if something does happen, when we won't just react, or we won't just respond thinking that everybody was in the right. And that will keep the rest of the family members safe as well too. So if you know somebody is hanging out with somebody who's not up to no good, then you need to let us know, so we are aware of that too. Now, here's why I'm saying that, is because number one, we need to know who in the family, just in case something happened to any one of us, and it doesn't matter who, but we need to know who in the family, right? Who are the ride or die ones? Meaning who is going to respond strategically and accordingly to the situation at hand? Who are the ones that we're going to send out to for revenge if something happens to me or anyone else? Who is properly prepared for a situation like that? And if something is to happen to that person that goes for revenge, can we financially, or do we have the economics within the family to help take care of whoever they leaving behind, or if that person gets locked up? We need to know that. So we need to know who in the family has weapons. We need to know who in the family is trained in that certain way to respond to a situation. We need to know in the family who don't mind. We don't just want to react. We want to be prepared to respond accordingly. The next thing is money. I want to talk about money. Yes, we know everybody is out on the grind and doing for self. But if we come together as a family economically, starting by, just placing the envelope on the table wherever you are, and simply by placing $1 in there, up to as much as you want consistently. Here's why. Because if something was to happen to any one of us in our family, we need to know that we have just in case money. We need to know that we have emergency money. We don't want to come to the family and have us jump into our savings that we're saving up for a car or for an event or for a house. You get the picture. We want to make sure that if finances play a role in a situation, we need to know that emergency money is at hand. And what's more better than the whole family saving up, and then let's just say something happens, then we all can say, you know what, we have emergency money to respond to the situation here. That way we're not dipping and dabbing into the savings or our pensions or whatever it is that we're saving up for the good life. Houses, cars, etc. We're not tapping into that. At least we have emergency money. The next thing is too, domestic situations. If you know someone, male or female, who is living in a domestic violent situation, whether it's verbal, physical, the rest of the family needs to know. Either you help that person or tell that person in the family, or we can have some form of communication where we can assist that person to get out of the domestic situation. Then that will be better for all of us, and including that family member, because we have to start looking out for each other too. But if that person decides to stay in the domestic situation, then leave them there and let them know that we cannot respond the way that you think we're going to respond, because that person decided to stay there. So we got to think when it comes to situations like that. The next thing is babies. Now, cool, the family is lovely. It's so dope. Mommies, grandmas, aunties, grandpas, grandfathers, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, and sons, daughters, cool. But I don't want to continue this cycle of people having babies and then we're all out struggling and striving to do for self only. What if we started to come together and know that, look, there's a baby being born. We can send finances to that person just off the sake of them having a child, even if, or if there's an event, a birthday event, or graduation, or something of that nature, that we start to save and just put, even like I said, 5 cents, 25 cents, $1 to the side. And then, but as a family, we show up economically, because for one, we're human. We're always going to go through some form of problem, whether it's mental, physical, spiritual, whatever. We're going to go through something. We are. But one of the things that we can actually control and become better at is the finances as a whole. And what that would do is it would allow us to step up from where we are now. Like, a lot of us own homes, a lot of us are renting, a lot of us are struggling, a lot of us are striving, a lot of us are actually working towards, a lot of us about to get our new key to whatever it is tomorrow. But what more better would it be if we come together as a family economically? Now, if you don't want to get into it, then you don't have to. If you're going to talk down on what I'm talking about and you're a part of the family, then you need to excuse yourself. because I may be talking calm, but I'm just that serious at the very same time, which is why I'm doing this video. But if you have any problems or any slack talk, right, against anything that I said so far, then sit yourself to the side and continue doing what you were doing. Now, but if you have a problem with somebody in the family and you're not talking to them, then that's cool too. No, seriously, it's cool. Because we all have that one family member or a couple that we just not talking to. But although, even including me, but although if something was to happen to them, family, I will show up. There's a difference. Now look, you can love them from a distance, but don't let that stop you from keeping the family strong, especially in today's time. Look, we're black. We're black. And we're not getting, we're being shown every day since we've been here. I don't need to go into the history of slavery right now. I don't. But for those who need a recap of the country we're living in, we're still not getting equality in anything in this society. So what would be more better than to have a family that's starting to come together economically, financially, as a whole, building up and learning who's who and having better communication by better preparing the family for any given situation, even good situations. You know, we're all posting things on, like, we're doing things with the family. You know, we're doing things. Some people are getting guns, licenses for guns. I hope that's not just for show, because if something pop off, you ones with the guns better be the first ones to be on front line and center. Then people are getting married. It's cool. Those things are cool, but as a family, you know, if we start to take charge in how we move and direct our energy, as far as, like, you know, like I said, put $1 in the envelope and hold it down, you know, and then let's say we just keep saving in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. We could buy a couple of houses, we could buy some land and start doing some things, because as you see today, who knows, you know, this second wave, ain't no telling that if we get out of a second wave the way it's looking. So going forward, funerals and cookouts. Now I do have an issue with that. I do. And because let me tell you one thing first, if I die, I don't want nobody at the funeral. The way I'm feeling right now at this moment of how the family is, like, I don't want anybody coming saying, oh, he was so in shape. We know that, oh, this and this and that, but it's barely that I talk to anybody on a regular basis anyway, especially the ones who live in New York City. Every time I talk to somebody, New York City is probably over some gossip that's not even building us up in a certain way. So like I said, I tried to reach out. I tried to attempt up to four attempts, and all I heard was, like I said, I didn't even hear crickets. You understand what I'm saying? So the funerals, if you hear this video and understand what I'm saying, funerals are cool, but it's not cool when we don't talk prior to something happening, to somebody passing away. And then all of a sudden the entire family stops doing what they're doing to go see someone getting buried. And then it's like we're eating, we're having fun, we're laughing, we're crying, and we're coming back to our lives the way it was prior to the funeral. And then it's just like as I'm getting older, it's not making sense to me. Now, let's say after you watch this video and you say, you know what? Okay, this is making sense. How can we build the family starting from where we at now? One, the first thing is first, economically, start redirecting your money towards the family of where you are now. Emergency money, just in case money. Make an envelope. You should be able to put it on the table or in the cabinet, because you should trust the hands around you. Now, let's say if we get to a certain amount, 10, 20, 30 grand, and it go missing and you find out who took it. Hey, look, it's within the family. We got to deal with that accordingly. We don't have to call the police. We can deal with it accordingly. Because you shouldn't break the laws and rules of when the family is trying to build. Because when the family is striving and struggling to build, if you have one rotten apple, we got to get rid of that one. I'm gonna just put it like that. The other thing is, let's see. So I wrote the location, domestic, the people, money, the babies, the funeral, the cookouts and all that stuff like that. All right, so I went over some general things, but so if you watch this video and you find it interesting, you can actually send me a message, or somebody has my number, or we can start getting in contact, and I would like to see who in the family is buying homes, who is buying cars, who is into business, who is into finances. Oh, that's the other thing, lawyers. Now, another thing too, let's say if something happens to one of us, how many lawyers can we put in the courtroom? I don't care if you got legal pay legal or whatever, or some lawyer that you paying hundreds of thousands for. We need to know that we could put more than one lawyer at the table as a family and shut the court system down, because we know how they running today. Money makes the judge talk, the 12 people, the jury. We need to make sure our lawyers is on deck if it goes to that too. You understand what I'm saying? And then we can take it from there. But we should not be consistently in a situation where we're vulnerable due to the separation within the family. Now, we're not separated because people do talk and laugh and gossip. But what if we begin to build by putting money to the side, or making an account for the family, and we have somebody trustworthy that we can put the account in and then hold it for cash, because these banks, the way things are looking, we don't want the people in power to snatch that money out and then we can't get it, or lock down the ATMs in the banks and everything is on shutdown and we can't get it. You see? So if we do have, like I said, funerals, and if we do have cookouts coming in the future after you view this video and we talk, at least when we have cookouts, we can gossip, right? But when we gossip, we do gossip about things that really don't matter, that people still gonna gossip about. But then we can also gossip on how we building and how much progress we making as a family, you see? Or when we, not the cookouts, then we have, what is that thing called? Family reunions. When we have family reunions, how much money are we putting on each table at the family reunion to put towards a cause for the family? There's always going to be that one selfish, stingy, hating motherfucker in the family. You better check that nigga, or you better check that person right now. Seriously. Because we got to start from somewhere. All right? Most of us have a lot. Most of us are starting from ground zero. So if you understand what I'm saying, check those people right now who's going to be complaining, or sit them to the side, or don't even invite them when we have meetings as such in the future, because we will. And I'm going to keep posting this video until things get moving. The other thing too is let's see. So that's about it right now. But like I said, if you're interested in building more than what we have now and being more connected and tight. Now look, listen, we may have one conversation a month, but at least if that one conversation a month is checking in to see where everyone is at, if you're looking to make this family tighter, then we can do that once to twice a month just to check in. But I didn't say change the way you live. I said watch who you hang out with. I didn't say raise your family a certain way. I just said put $1 in the envelope for just in case or emergency money. I didn't say, have babies with just only black people. I just said, we need to just look out economically for the new ones that's coming up. Otherwise, we're going to keep creating a cycle where everybody going to be having babies and people going to court and on child support. But everybody's on this, well, you did it, you on your own, But then everybody else, but then we can show up for a funeral and a family reunion and don't help nobody who we know is in need, but we can sit and gossip. That's kind of backwards if you asking me. And trust me, look, I'm 34 years old, so look, I ain't that stupid. You know what I'm saying? We 5 years old and 4-3, and we remember some things being said and done in front of our faces. So, we, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that, look, people gonna be people, but at least all that little pettiness and all that stuff like that, I didn't say we didn't strive to be, I didn't say let's strive to be perfect. I'm saying let's strive to be tighter. So if things do pop off and go wrong within the family, at least we could be like, you know what you did was wrong, right? Then we could go, yep, and look, all right, so don't do that shit again. At least we could do the original popping or the spanking, or we could have the grown folk talk, or where the youth or that the young ones can know how to and know who to be pointed to go get some counsel from. Grandma, grandpa, uncle, this one, that. Because right now, I don't know who to send anyone to. Okay? Like that. Yeah, so this is where I'm leaving it at. I'm going to do another video. What's today? What's today's date? The 16th or the 15th, 16th, the 17th is one of them. And I'm going to do a video 1 month from now. And I'm going to do a video from another month from now until we get the ball rolling. Peace. Love you guys.